A viewer also needs to know the problems, as we shared earlier, about excess consumption of alcohol. We did mention sexual problems. So,
Yeah,
what does a person go through in alcohol-induced sexual problems? It's coming from Mr. Kabilan.
yeah. Okay. So, uh, viewer, for you to appreciate something, by and large, there was the old adage that alcohol stimulates the spirits but reduces the performance. What we are referring to are two parameters. One is the intention or the derived brain pleasure sensation of sexual activity. So, if you look at natural human rewards, it is safety, nutrition, sex, and reproduction. These are natural rewards. So, sex is a natural aspiration, sexual function. In males, there is a circumstance called erectile dysfunction, where a person is unable to get an erection or sustain an erection, or that itself is the problem. The other part of the story, like I said earlier, is that there is no intent. The mind, because of its circumstances and disabilities and dysfunction, does not feel inclined to have sex as an activity. These two are the things that are experienced by males, many males, not all, many males in long-term alcohol abuse. Where females are concerned, I told you, the issue is usually aberrant behaviors, risk behaviors, and infertility as a consequence of the abuse phenomenon, and risks to the fetus. There is treatment for erectile dysfunction, and you have to be evaluated in detail. The person has to be evaluated in detail, both medically and psychiatrically. And a modicum of results are available through medications, through behavior therapies, and through various types of structural implants, which can help if sexual function is that way required. Then certain structural implants are also available, which can help. The idea is that the male should be able to penetrate into the vagina for the sexual activity. Inability to do that is what turns off the individual from the whole process of the sexual encounter. And then it becomes a practice. The person says, why should I bother? It doesn't happen. It's just making me miserable, makes everybody else miserable. Let's just forget about it.
Sir, but this has to be addressed. So, counseling where sexuality is
Absolutely.
concerned or sexual problems, how Anatta deals with sexuality too, as part of the de addiction program. So, counseling plays a big role in
Very
handling.
much. See, most people who find themselves with sexual dysfunctions, they blame themselves or they blame the other person.
Partner.
It's
Yeah.
like I am not attracted to this partner. I've got no interest. Or this partner, no, I don't want to have anything to do with this partner. The other thing is they themselves feel dysfunctional, that they're inadequate, and therefore they lose interest. In the process of counseling, there are great revelations. The individual becomes aware of their own circumstances, and slowly they start learning to be honest with themselves. Honesty with oneself is the most difficult task. You can be honest about many things, but to be honest with yourself is the most difficult task. The process of counseling helps the individual in that, how to be honest with yourself. And once you have seen honestly that there are issues that I need to address, then the counseling process will help them to guide and reach the appropriate resources, which may be medical, which may be psychiatric, which may be psychological, cognitive, behavioral, or even a sex addiction or a sex non-addiction. That means sex therapy. There are sex therapists who are very good at helping a person to understand and carry out sexual activity in such a way that they get a modicum of success in the act. It's quite interesting, but there are. So these things are the ways you can help them.